Alright folks, welcome back. Another game of Marty's Daily Sudoku. And it is a medium puzzle. And I got my son looking over my shoulders. He said he's going to help me out here a little bit. He has been enjoying playing Sudoku. He's got it on his phone. Sometimes when he's bored he'll pull it out and be playing, and he'll get stuck and ask me to give him a little hand. So I keep telling him, hey, go watch the channel. You'll see how I solve stuff. So this is a medium puzzle, so it's going to use single elimination, double elimination, and ghost rows. Those other harder tactics and solutions and patterns won't necessarily be used here, but let's get started.
I see a 7.
So he says he sees a 7. You talking about the 7 right here?
Yep.
Because we have a 7 in the left, we have a 7 in the right, and we have a 7 across the middle. There's our 7 there. Alright. Very good. Boop, boop, boop. Looking for patterns, you can go vertically in the 3 or horizontally in the 3, and you're looking for pairs. Like, see, there's 2 7s there. So none across the top, none across the middle. Throw some pencil marks here. See how there's a 2 and a 2? 2 across the top, 2 across the bottom. So see, there's a 6 and a 6 across the top, across the middle, and there's one down here on the left side. So that's what we're looking for. We got a pair of 7s, we got the 2s. See, oh, here we got a pair of 4s. 4 across the top, across the bottom, left and right. So that's the good ones to be looking out for, is pairs. Here's a pair of 6s here, center and right, and then here's one through the middle. There's a 6. We've got the 4s all done. We got 2s, 2 here and 2 here, left and right. Don't have any help horizontally, so I'll just throw in a little markers. I do have a 1 and a 1 going vertically here, left and right, so I know in this top one we have 1s here. Alright, let's look at these ones here. We have a 4 in the left, 4 in the right, 4 down the center, so we know 4 has to be somewhere here in the middle. We have 8s, left and right, and then across the bottom, so we know that the 8 has to be here in the middle. Let's see if we have any other pairs. That's the only ones that... Let's look over here. Okay, we do have an 8 and an 8. So they're paired, but one's vertically and one's horizontally. So this one's the only spot left for our 8. Now here in this middle cube here, we have an 8 down the right, 8 through the left, 8 across the bottom. So that is the only spot left for our 8 here. Now these two make a pair, bottom, middle. One of these two has to be our 8. Alright, let's see what else we have pairwise. We have 2 6s here, 6 in the left and down the middle, and then or center, and then we have one across the middle. So we know this one has to be our 6 here. Alright, we have a 4 across the middle and a 4 down the center, leaving just one spot for the 4. We also now have a 4 in the left, center, and top. Only spot left for a 4 is right here. Okay, now this 4 helps us back here with one of these two being a 4. This has to be it. I'll clean up my pencil mark. Very good. Alright. So you see this plus symbol here. You can look at the numbers of a pattern. You got a 6. You got a 9 that goes through the middle here. So you know 9 has to be top and bottom. And that creates what I call a ghost row. So up here in the top, we have a solid 9 here. So we know one of these two have to be a 9. Well, even though we don't know which one it is, one of these two has to be a 9, which means this one can't be a 9. That's what I call a ghost row, because it creates an illusion, but it has to be here. So you cannot have a 9 here because of a solid. You can't have a 9 here because of this ghost row, ghost column. So here's the only spot left that a 9 can even go. So we got 2 numbers left, and it looks like a 1 and a 3. So I'm just looking vertically and horizontally to see if a 1 or a 3 is helpful yet. It is not just... Oh, yep. Actually, right here. If I'm looking at this row, I was looking for a 1. Look at this. I can't have a 1 here, and I can't have a 1 here. So that tells me that in this row, the only place that a 1 can go is right there. That helps us out. And then a 3. Okay, alright, so now we have 2 numbers missing here. Looks like a 1 and a 5. Do we we have anything to help us? I don't see it, so we'll just throw down some numbers real quick. We've got two numbers missing here. Looks like a 5 and a 3. 5 and a 3. Okay. Okay, now 5 and a 3. Now we do have a 5 down here, so it says can't be there. So there's our 5, and there's our 3. We now have those ones solved out here. I was just looking at these 3's here. We've got 3 numbers here. 7 can go not here, but could go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 could go here or here. Then we need an 8, but an 8 cannot go here because of this 8, and it cannot go here because of this 8. So that makes this one an 8. And then we need a 9. And so it looks like I don't have anything to help me vertically here, horizontally here. We'll get the right word eventually. So we've got a 7 and a 9. Okay, so we've got 3 numbers missing here. 1, we've got our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a 7. Now 7 can't be in the bottom. There we go. And then we have an 8 and then a 9. And right now a 9 could be anywhere. Okay, now I've got 3 numbers missing across the bottom. Anytime there's 3 numbers, I like to identify where they could be. So we've got a 1, 2 could go here, 2 could go here and here, and then a 3 could go any one of those places as well, and then our 9 can't go here, but it could go here or here. Okay, let's hold off on that one just for a moment. Let's look at this one here. Okay, in this cube I need a 1, but it can't be here because of this one, and it can't be here because of this one. So in this cube, this is the only spot that actually could be a 1. That helps us with this 5 here. Okay, and now we have a 2 and a 5 that are left. And of course we cannot have a 5 here. So there's our 2, there's our 5. Okay, we've got one number left here, which is a 1. Alright, so now we have 3 numbers here. We need a 3, a 2, and a 9. Alright, now we have gone around and around and put a lot of numbers. Now I'm thinking we might be able to find some solutions here in the middle. We have a 2 across the top, 2 through the center, 2 across the bottom. So we have a 2 and a 2. We have a 1 across the top, 1 through the middle, 1. So we got 1, 2, 3 comes across, 3 comes up. So 3 goes here and here. And then 3 could still be anywhere here. Let's hold off on marking that. We have a 4. And we have a 5. And we have a 5 left and right, so I'll mark this 5. 5 can be anywhere up here. We'll hold off on marking that one. Okay, we have a 6, and a 6 on the left, so we know that the 6 has to go here. 7. Okay. So 7 actually has to be in one of these two. We've got a left and a right and a top. We have an 8. And then a 9 that comes across the bottom and the right. Lots of choices there. All right. Alright, I'm getting to the point where I just need to mark out the numbers because I've been like skipping marking them for some. So let's go ahead and let's finish marking these guys out. So there's my 3 because you can't have a 3 on the top. And then I need a 2, which can go everywhere. That is now fully marked out. Alright, I need a 1. Can't be in the bottom or the middle. 1, 1, 1. I need a 2. Cannot be in the center. 2, 2, 2. I need a 3, and it cannot be across the top. 3, 4, 5 cannot be the bottom 2. 5, 5, 5. 6, 7. I need an 8, which is already... Oh, look at that. 8 across the top means this one cannot be an 8 anymore. This one is actually the only one left to be an 8. Alright. Now in this top row here, I need a 9, but this 9 says it can't be these 3, so this is actually the only one left to be a 9. So let me clean up my 9s. There we go. I need a 9 here in this cube. Well, this 9 comes across. This is the only spot left for a 9. This is now the only spot left for a 2. This is the only spot left for a 7. This 2 helps me out with this one over here. This 2 helps me out with this one right here. Alright, so we now have a 1, 2, and a 5 across the top, which is good. Alright, now we just solved a bunch of numbers here, so I need to look up vertically and see how that affected the other blocks here. Let's see what we have. Okay, alright. Okay, let's keep marking them out. See, that's what just by marking these out, I'm starting to find some of these solutions. Let's look at this block here. We have a 1, we have a 2. Okay, we need a 3. Now we have our 3 marked either top or bottom. We have our 4. Our 5 here is the middle or the top. We have a 6. Okay, now our 7 has to be here or here. Okay, now this, folks, right here is a ghost row again. See how this 7 here says you can't have a 7 here, and this 7 says you can't have a 7 here. One of these two has to be a 7. Even though we're not sure which one it is, this row now has its 7, which means this 7 no longer works. So no 7 across the top because of a solid 7, no 7 in the middle because of a ghost row, no 7 in the left. So this is the only physical spot left that a 7 would work. Alright, now we only had 1 available here because we have a 1 here. So that makes this one a 1, and the only number left for this one is a 3. And then we can clean up our 3 here. Okay, now we have a 1 here, so now I can clean up my 1 here. Okay, alright. Okay, here we go. Alright. So we were marking this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our 5, one of these 2 spots. Okay, we have a 6. We have a 7, one of these 2 that gives us our ghost row. We have our 8 right here that's marked. One of these 2 is an 8. And then we need a 9. And it can't be here in the middle. So 9 has to be here or here. Okay, there we go. Mark that. So now this cube is fully marked out. Okay, let's go to this cube here. We've got our 1. Our 2 has to be here. So this 3 here comes through the middle and it has to be one of these 2. And I have a 3 right here. Okay, so that tells me there's our 3. Now these 2 3s, 3 in the center, 3 in the right, and a 3 in the bottom, help us with the last 3 here. Alright, okay, so we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need a 5. Now our 5 over here is up and down. I don't have a 5 down here just yet, so it could be anywhere. Don't have a 5 up here to help us just yet. It's going to be any one of these 3. So any of these can be a 5. So let's mark those. 5, 5, 5, 5. Our 6 has to be one of these 2 because it can't be up here and it can't be here. 7, 8, and then we need a 9. Now this 9 comes up this way, and it says that 9 has to be one of these 2. So we just did 2 different things here, folks. We created another 9 ghost row that comes all the way over here and says this can't be a 9. I'm going to clean that up. So now I know what this number is, I know what this number is, and now there's only a 9 here. And because we did all the numbers in this cube, and I only have a 5 here, that means 5 is the only number that it can be. Okay, and I can go vertically, horizontally, and use the cube and count. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the only spot a 5 can exist. Okay, so now let me clean up my pencil marks. 5, 5, 5s are gone. Okay, now this is the only spot that a 7 can be, because we have a ghost row of 9 right here that says you cannot have any other 9s. So there's our 7, which means this one has to be our 5, which means this one has to be our 8, which means this one has to be our 9. Now we have a 7, so that makes this one our 9. Okay, only one spot left for a 7, only one spot left for a 1, and then the only number we're missing here looks like an 8, and then here the number that we're missing in this row looks like a 9. Okay, now with this 9, we now resolve that this has to be a 6, can't be a 9. Now if that's a 6, that makes that a 2, that's a 2, that makes that a 9. Now this 2 comes down here and it helps us that it's a 1. If that's a 1, that has to be a 5. If that's a 5, that has to be a 2. We're just cascading now, folks. We're just going through. And if I had all my pencil marks here, we could resolve those. But in this cube here, I need a 1, and it can't be left or right, so the 1 has to be in the middle. 2, 3, 4. I need a 5. Well, it can't be here in the right. And then I need a 6. There we go, folks. So this was a great example of ghost rows and how they project where a number can't be. Those are wonderful solutions to help you in the long term, especially with the medium puzzles. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to pause these at the beginning, print them off, play along with. I always welcome suggestions, comments, and challenges as well. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.